Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd.
And I'm Rose, I'm the whiskey noob.
And this is the apple brandy finished whiskey from Two Stacks. So let me get into the glasses and I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I'm really not sure this is even a whiskey, to be perfectly frank, because it just tastes like an apple pie, like a spicy apple pie. Now it doesn't say spicy apple pie in the back as one of the ingredients. It could be.
Surprise, surprise.
But it doesn't. One thing I really love about Two Stacks, right, is if you look at the back label, they tell you exactly what's on it. Like percentages. Like it literally says 40% dark grain, 40% light grain, 8% pot still, etc. And it adds up. Like the transparency of Two Stacks and like actually letting us know what's in it, I think is really nice.
Yeah, and that kind of mix of grain whiskey, pot still whiskey, malt whiskey, and peated malt.
Yeah.
2% peated malt is, I think, it's their kind of core blend. So if you've tried any of their other releases, except for a few kind of special editions, you'll be familiar with this because they kind of hit upon a very nice combination. And so what they did was, rather than trying different blends for different finishes, they said, let's take a good kind of core blend and finish it in different ways. So recently enough, I tried the apricot brandy one. There's a rum, there's port, and this one here, the apple brandy. There's loads of different kind of...
Something for everyone, maybe.
Yeah, loads of different flavors. It does come in at cask strength of 63% ABV. That's 126 proof, so that's actually quite high and quite hot. And we have tried this whiskey a few times, as you can tell, and we have tried diluting it down.
Yeah.
And we actually found that we preferred it at cask strength. It had more of that apple flavor, more of those kind of really nice, rich notes.
Yeah.
Rather than when we diluted it down, some of that apple sweetness was lost. So I think it's time we go in for the nose.
Let's do it!
On the Two Stacks apple brandy.
It's beautiful looking as well. Also, can I just say I love the bottles that they do. Someone designed these and whoever they did, great idea.
Because they have different kind of colors here. They also tell you how many are in each release. There's 282 bottles in this release. This was bottle 249. It is a thing where they do releases over time. So if you can't find this right now, wait a while, it'll come back in stock.
Oh wow, this smells delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you get that fruit immediately.
Yeah, like that apple brandy cask had a huge influence on this. Really, really apparent. It's not like some apple brandies I've had just kind of taste like, brandy. This obviously must have been a really appley apple brandy.
Yeah, like maybe they had the apple brandy and then you know what? They went, let's just throw some more apples in there.
Yeah. Because you get like that grainy note, the grain sweetness, that's probably corn whiskey.
Yeah.
So you do get a kind of a nice grain note, but then on top of that, you get that apple note. So it does kind of taste like an apple pastry or an apple pie.
Yeah. Should we go and taste it then?
No, let's keep on the nose. What spices are you getting? Because there is pot still spice in here. There's malt. There's a little bit of peated malt in there.
The spices are hard to tell.
Like there's a little bit of pepper, I think.
Well, yeah, I got that immediately.
Maybe a bit of clove.
I just keep thinking of apple pie and thinking like, clove can go into apple pie or nutmeg.
But it's probably that you're not thinking of a single spice. You might be thinking of the mix of spices.
Yeah, combination of spices.
Yeah, like baking spices.
Now, granted, you don't put black pepper into an apple pie, but
I've had a bit of black pepper cracked up in like a spice mix before, and I think it worked quite well. I add a little bit of black pepper to my hot whiskeys, and it comes out really well.
Well, that's a hot whiskey, not an apple pie, but that's for another video.
That's for another video. I think now we can go in and we can taste it.
Okay.
Now, cask strength. Like it spreads, you get that ABV tingle.
Ooh, my tongue is tingling!
You get that salivation, but
oh my god.
at the same time you're getting all that sweetness.
Yes, there is loads of sweetness in there.
I did get a little bit of the peated malt, a little bit of not really a huge amount of like peat, but there's a little bit of like smoke, like kind of like a char coming through.
Maybe.
A little bit. I find that in their blend, when you go to a lower ABV, the peat does kind of fall back a bit. At the higher ABV, that peat does come through a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, initially very sweet, kind of spicy, got that ABV tingle.
Oh yeah, ABV tingle.
So I think...
But not in the bad way.
Yeah,
it's not harsh.
We'll go in for a second sip.
Okay.
Now we've gotten past that kind of initial hit of alcohol. What kind of flavors do you get?
Okay. A lot more of the spice, like the pepper.
Yeah.
Maybe the cloves bit. It's kind of more of like not soft spices, but more of like make you awake spices, if that makes sense.
Like quite like a hefty.
My mouth is just salivating.
Quite a hefty punch of spice.
Yes.
In terms of apples, it's kind of got like on the nose. I got more of like a kind of a fresh apples, kind of like, you know, an apple pie, kind of clean.
Like a sweet apple.
On the palate, it's more like an apple sauce. You got that stewed apple. It's extra sugary. The spices are already kind of mixed into it.
Maybe I could kind of see that.
That's for me where I'm getting it.
Maybe it's the evolution of the apple pie. So you've got
evolution of apple pie. Okay, let's just.
So like on the nose, you've got all your ingredients cut out. So you can tell where your cloves, your nutmeg is, where the slices of the apple are, right? But now when you go in for like the palate, you actually taste it all mixed together.
Yeah. Okay, that's end of story time with Rosie on what the whiskey makes her feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, very nice, very rich palate.
Yes.
Quite kind of clean. Like it's not like there's a nice bit of mouthfeel, but it's not like.
I don't think it's oily.
No, it's not oily. It's quite like a kind of. It's not thin either. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
It doesn't cling to you though. Yeah. I think one more sip. Go in and we'll think about the finish.
Okay.
Think about the overall experience.
Okay.
Cheers.
It's not harsh.
No. Like that's what I kind of.
Maybe I'm used to cask strength.
Maybe not, but that's kind of what I mean by when I say something's kind of clean. Like there's nothing off coming in. There's no off notes. There's
no off notes.
Weird kind of flavors that kind of get introduced. Sometimes with a whiskey, when you start breathing at the end, you're like, oh, this kind of a weird kind of ethanol or like acetone, like a nail polish remover note can come through on some whiskeys. Or like an iodine.
Sometimes you get a weird journey, and not weird in a bad way, of like it tastes like, well, it starts off one thing and then ends in a different thing. This, I think, is very consistent. Like you get a very consistent journey from start to finish. And there's something to be appreciated about that, especially when it tastes like a spicy alcoholic apple pie.
Yeah, it's a very nice, very alcoholic apple pie. It's a very, very tasty one.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all there's to say about the whiskey. I mean, it's a very nice whiskey. All of the kind of cask strength finishes I've had from Two Stacks, I have enjoyed. I think they're pretty consistent in what they're putting out. They have a good core product. They're finding some good barrels to finish them in. So if you can find them, you're probably going to enjoy it.
I'd say so. It's like, because for a cask strength, right? Like there is still that sweetness in there. Like at 63%, right?
63%.
So I feel like I can still taste the whiskey. You know, it's not like the whole burn. So like, I think it's quite a nice cask strength, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a solid, decent, well-made whiskey, and if you find it, give it a go, or if you can find a sample of it, give it a go, because they have a good amount of whiskeys in their range, so there's definitely one in there for you.
So much to try.
Yeah, so I think we're going to keep on enjoying these.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Sláinte.